Hey, g'day guys, Adam from Video Show Me How, and in this video we're working on the D-Max, and specifically we're looking at an alternator. And for followers of the channel, you might go, whoa, hang on a second, didn't you already do one of these? Isn't this your factory alternator? So then what's going on, what's in there? And of course, yes, we did upgrade from the factory 90 amp alternator to a 160 amp alternator, but it's not enough, guys. It's not enough. Over here, over that side, for those that have been following, you will know that we've done this ridiculously over the top 12 volt install, and we have 1 and 2 of the 50 amp DC-DC XS50 chargers from Victron. Problem there is the 160 amp hour is not enough as far as the alternator goes, because these suckers, they max out at about 32, 34 amps each. So back over there, I started hunting around to find what options are out there to replace the 160 amp alternator that's in the D-Max at the moment. No problems with that, except for the fact it's no bueno when it comes to 100 amps of DC-DC. A little bit of Googling later, Elevate pops up on the feed, and these legends not only have the Black Series 240 amp alternator, which is more than going to do the job, they also have a full wiring loom with their own custom stainless bracket, which is designed specifically for the D-Max, where this guy sits underneath the engine cover. So I thought the kit overall pretty sweet, so I'm keen to install it. That's what we're doing in this video. So without further ado, let's get started. So step one really is to pop the hood, pop the bonnet, and have a bit of an eyeball at what you're looking at. Now in this particular video, I'm not going to go full crazy mode in a ton of detail for the install. I will link the 160 amp alternator, which is hiding down in there. Camera not giving us any light, but the 160 amp alternator install, I go into a ton of detail, so I'll link that in the video description down below. I'll speed this up for you guys so you got a bit of an overview of how it all happens though. The first step really is to remove the bits that are kind of getting in the way. Our alternator lives right down in there, and I found it easier if we sort of remove the top pipe here. There is a clamp there, there is a clamp there. So we remove this hose. You've got a catch can, you can kind of move all this out of the way. We then want to remove our bottom intercooler hose. And then for access to all the wiring, engine cover needs to come off. Easiest way to do that, grab firmly above the Isuzu logo just here and pull up. That will come off just like that. All right, so once you're at this point, the next step is to remove your battery, whether you remove the whole battery or at least disconnect it from power so that none of your circuits are live. From here, it's a great opportunity to do a bit of a tidy up if it's a bit of a mess, but if it's okay, then hunky-dory, you're off to the races. From there though, it is a matter of removing your old alternator. Now ours looks a little bit shiny and new because this is the 160. From here, I found the best way to do that, there is a bolt right there. That is your pulley bolt, and it's best to crack that and loosen that off. And then this guy here, you can just see my finger poking through, that is the tensioner bolt. So what I find best is to loosen this guy off. You just need to crack that and loosen it a bit. You don't need to take it all the way off. And then you want to start loosening this guy, because that will start dropping your tensioner down enough that your cert belt here will be enough to come off this pulley. So you don't want to go to town and loosen this off too far that it actually comes right off, as in the bolt comes right off. You just want to keep going a little bit by a little bit. This will start getting really loose and just enough that you can pop this guy off. Once that's off, there are only 2 bolts that connect your alternator. There's one here that's connected to this bracket, so you can get the cabling out of the way, and there's another one around the back. I'll do my best to try and show you that, but if you feel around and look down from the side here, you'll be able to see that one. Now, top tip at this part, once you get this big long bolt out, which is at the front there, I find it actually easy. If you're struggling to get these connectors off, you can get it up and out enough that it just makes access a whole lot easier. So depending on whether you've got little hands or big hands, you may find that a struggle. I certainly do, so I find it easier to sort of wiggle this guy free, because it'll sit like that. You kind of just got to wiggle him free to get this section up and out. It's kind of like that section of the alternator, wiggle him free, and then that gives you sort of access here. This is the little tab. You just need to either get your fingers in there. A little flathead works sometimes as well, but basically you need to pull this little lock nut out. 2 hands as they go. A little stubby flathead, a little bit like this, works a treat on there. If you kind of just get this cable out of the way with your second hand, push this guy up, that plug will come off. And then this is the actual positive terminal where all the juice comes from. So you just need a 12mm on this guy, get that guy up out of the way. Once that guy is off, you can take this guy up and out, and let's have a look at the difference between all 3 sizes. And here you go. This is a nice representation of the extra girthiness of the 240 at the end here. This is the factory. This is a 90 150. This was the JLEC 160. Still worked fine, but just not enough juice. And one thing to mention at this point is when you're choosing the size of the alternator you go for, it's really important to have a look at the chart, because just because it says 160 or 240 or 90 doesn't mean that you start the car, you're idling along, and these guys are putting that much in the way of power out. They'll all have a bit of a ramp, they'll all have a different curve, and that's where I was really keen on this particular one, because even when it's hot, it's still pumping out a good amount of amps right at the start. I'll sort of overlay that so you know what I'm talking about, but basically the higher revving, the more power that one of these is generating, being effectively a generator running off your engine. When you're looking at a new alternator, it's really important to have a look at what rev range you're going to be in most of the time, and then pick an alternator to suit that rev range. All right, so we're ready to get our new big boy alternator in. Now's the time. If you want to do a bit of a tidy up down here, if it's looking a bit ordinary, now's the time. If you're doing a bit of a degrease or what have you, just make sure that nothing gets inside your turbos, and similarly into your intercooler. It is critical that they stay super clean and dry. So just word of warning there. From here though, we're ready to install our new one. Now, the benefit of the Elevate kit is it has all the wiring for you already done, and it is all super high quality. It is even tagged on here. So that is our alternator end. So you just follow your nose. Alternator side, that bolts to here. So we can do that before we put it in. The other side comes up to our alternator fuse, which is this guy, all nice and ready to go with its custom bracket. That goes in here. So you can see on the factory, no sort of drilling holes or anything like that, 100% reversible. This guy drops straight in, once I move that out of the way, drops straight in there and bolts up to those two holes just there that already exist. So we use these that they even include, all lock knots and nylock nuts, which is even better. That bolts that bracket to there, and that sits in there just like that. And then one side, alternator fuse there, and then on our extra cable, alternator fuse that side, and then this guy sneaks around to our battery, and we'll get to that in a minute. So leave that guy off for the moment. Make sure that's not touching anything, of course. Get this guy bolted up first so it's all connected. Same with your plug that has fallen into the abyss there. I'll have to fish out in just a second. Get all that already all plugged in so that when you drop this guy into its slot, you can see just here, this is what we're shooting for down there. That little slot is that little slot. So you're ready to go with your long bolt, and then that puts it into place. And then it's just a reverse of what we did before. So it's get the thing clocked into the right angle, get the extra bolt into place so it's locked in with your bracket, and then it's a matter of getting that serpentine belt back into place the same as you had it when you're taking it off, and we can start on the wiring. Alrighty, so we are all back together on this side. We're ready for a test, pretty much the reverse of what we did there before. The cable for our new loom is able to sort of route up and around, and then up at the top here, like you can see, all the way around, nice and zip tied into place, so it's all nice and secure. It looks factory in there. And then here is our new bracket with the wiring harness from Elevate all in place there, which looks really smart. Our mega fuse, sorry, in there, 250. Tighten those guys down, and you can sneak part 2 of the loom where it has alternator fuse on one side, and then snake it all the way around and back up. Really important you go on this side, not this side, because this fuse here is way too small. It's only 120 amps. So at full tilt, the new guy down there is going to be putting more juice out than that. So put it on this side so you're all good to go. From here, we're pretty much good for a start. So just triple check everything. Make sure particularly your intake hoses on the turbo and everything all nice and tight. Make sure your intercooler piping is all back and all done up. And then from here, let's jump on in. Let's start this thing up. Now I've got a little gauge just here, one up here. Now what we should be looking for is no alternator or battery light on the dash. So we hit the odd button. Okay. What? 14.4. Awesome. We've got no error lights, so the CAN bus is talking to the alternator. Still a smart alternator. If we have a look up here, oh yeah, that's the magic right there where we are charging people. It is working, which is excellent. Let's rip around the front, make sure our cert belt is not about to lose its marbles. I don't know if you can see down in there. I'll try and enhance that one there for you, but we are looking perfect down there. It is rock solid. So there we go. It looks like a great success. We've got the new one in. So from here, we just need to do a sort of final tidy up, engine cover back on, tidy up our rest of our wiring with the cover down for our new fuse, and then we'll kick over to some final final thoughts. So there we go, we are all buttoned up. We have everything back together here. I'm about to change some of the fusing and what have you here for the DC-DC going down the back, but we're all good to go for the new alternator. You can see that the cover goes on just like factory. You wouldn't even know there's an upgraded loom in there other than maybe a few clues with the extra bit of shiny conduit, but a little bit of forward driving, that's going to disappear into the rest of the engine. So there you go, that is the full 240 alternator in place. We've tested, working a-okay. In an upcoming video, the final part of the ridiculous 12-volt system in the back, we will see if this guy is ready to go in producing 100 amps down to the back to charge up the battery. So I can't wait for that one. If you've watched this one and found it helpful, that's awesome. That's the whole point. Let me know in the comments down below. Have you upgraded your alternator? What did you go to? What kind of system you're running? Let's get some comments happening down there, because confirmed 160 can't run 100 amp hours, but hopefully the 240, by all reports, the 240 will. But let me know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, of course. And as always, guys, I hope that you're having an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.